So it's mitigating on the fly at very high processing speed. And products like this are a prime example. So we partner with two manufacturers, one being Comsys and one being Revcon. So this is the Comsys filter, very comprehensive, robust product with amazing software, and can also stop issues with resonance and other things like that because they have impedance control. So EV chargers, for example, can be quite problematic to mitigate the harmonics from, and we can do that easily with this product. And they go up to 690 volts. So these are LV connection products. And then we have Revcon, which is using silicon carbide. It's a lot smaller than other IGBT technologies due to using silicon carbide over IGBT, and the losses are about a third less as well. So it's about a quarter of the size and about a third of the losses overall. Then into super harmonics, as I mentioned in the section there, it's broken into two areas, 2 to 9 kilohertz and 9 to 150. For the 2 to 9, we have this product. And then for 2 to 9 in light industrial applications like shopping malls and stuff, we have this product. And then in addition to that, we fit the sine tamer that you can see there in the panel, and that will get rid of the higher frequencies. So we can do a really wideband filter solution for your customers. EMC we spoke about, I don't need to go into that, but we do an entire range of those if you ever need them. So Jim's already done a great explanation of transients. So this is just a couple of slides in there about transients. You already know what they are. They're spikes on the mains. Those are really fast spikes though, right? These aren't sustained over voltages. Most people only think of transients coming from lightning, but the reality is 80% of transients are created within your own factory or your customer's factory by their own equipment. That can be switching over between generator and mains. It can be fast-acting switching direct online. It could be big chillers coming in and on and off. There are so many other things that can cause transients within the network. And as Jim alluded to, SPDs kind of look like this, right? And a lot of people will tell you, yeah, we have SPDs, but we still have problems. Yeah, there's a good reason for that. They're designed for a different thing, and that's not the problem that you have. So the core thing that I wanted to add on to Jim's presentation today is that the SPDs are kind of working in this area, and that's designed around where they were designed for, and that's what the standards for certain things were done by, because the people who wrote the standards were the people who made the product. But the reality is the transients that we're talking about that sine tamer's fixing are outside that window, which is why they never work. The sine tamer is working like 50 times faster to respond to something that's microseconds, less than microseconds, sub-microseconds almost, in terms of speed, and it's capturing that and preventing that from being a problem before it becomes a high impulse issue. Jim's alluded to where they can go and what they do, so we don't need to go through that, and we've shown you that it basically takes that and almost eliminates it. It doesn't get rid of it 100% because there will always, you can never get rid of something 100%. But it gets it down to such a small amount that you wouldn't even know it's there unless you knew to look for it, which is what you want. You can fit one sine tamer. You see the bottom right-hand corner there. This is a Crohn's machine. So you've got Allen Bradley Contrologics PLCs on the right-hand side there. They're protected by a single-phase sine tamer for the power supply. Then in each of those panels there, you've got Danfoss drives, and on each of those Danfoss drives per panel, you've got a sine tamer protecting that bank. That gives you an idea of what you can do in terms of protection and scalability, you know. And we've got loads of flyers. So if you've got an industry that you would like to talk to your customer about sine tamer, we've created a load of flyers for all different industries. These are just some examples to show you, but we've got steel, cranes, dairy, data centers. The list goes on. So again, please reach out to Tim and we can provide you with those details so you can use them freely with your customers. So why don't we show you a few cases that we've solved problems for. This is a compressor for a water treatment plant, 2 ABB drives back to back, controlling a 630 kilowatt compressor, kilowatt compressor. The drives were low harmonic, and what they were doing were creating a common mode noise that was affecting the Terasaki ACB. The ACB thought it had a ground fault of 816 amps. It wasn't real. The electrical noise was tricking the sensor to thinking it had something that wasn't there. What we did was, if you look on the left-hand side here, this was the switching noise of the drives that was affecting the sensors. We installed 3 sine tamers. We had to fit 3 because of how far away we had to try and mitigate the problem, because the people who owned the compressor, the OEM, said the warranty would be invalid if we installed a sine tamer in the cabinet. Even though 1 sine tamer solved the whole problem, but because we couldn't put it at the source of the problem, and we were 100 meters away from the problem, we had to fit 3 in order to mitigate that. I have a video on LinkedIn for that. If anyone would like to see that, it's showing live me turning the sine tamers on one by one and then showing you the mitigation going down. Again, that's on my LinkedIn page, and again, we can share that with you. In addition to that, we installed some harmonic filters to mitigate some of the harmonics that were on site. This site, again, actually a water treatment plant, they have a pole transformer, which you see up here, and this site was using ABB FIRS surge arresters, which you may be familiar with. I'm not sure if you are, but FIRS have been around for a very long time, and then ABB bought them. They were failing roughly once every 3 months in this site, and no one had a clue why. They didn't want to pay for a survey, so we sent them out a sine tamer and said, look, I'm pretty sure it's a problem with how robust the boards are that are inside the ABB device. You're not going to have this problem with sine tamer. They fitted 1 sine tamer on one site. There was 5 sites in total, and they didn't have a problem for 6 months, not a single failure. So they then went and added them to the rest of the sites. They've been in over 5 years now, and their site has been protected from day one, never had a failure. Now those ABB units were, forgive me, I forget, but it was something in the order of around 500 or 600 UK pounds to replace. And the sine tamer was a little bit more, but once. And they had replaced about 5, I think it was, in total over the course of a year and a half. So, and would have forever been replacing them. So, you know, when someone talks to you about price, just think also, how about longevity? You're getting this for life. It's 25 years to life, and it's not an imprisonment. In addition, we solved some harmonic issues for the client. This is a flood defense application for the City of York, for anyone who knows the UK. And this was a £20 million government project to stop the flooding of the city when 2 rivers overrun. They were having all kinds of problems, which I won't bore you with today because it's a whole topic on all the problems they had. But the main problems we were there to fix were transformers having gas in the bubbles and gases in the oil results, which meant the transformer's warranty was being invalidated. And in addition to that, the ABB drives, which are active front-end drives, were causing problems with the generators. We came in, we measured with the device that I showed you earlier. We installed a HHF, which you can see here, which is the 2 to 9. And then we installed the sine tamer, which is the 9 to 150. So we had a wideband filter to cover all the problems I was able to measure. And as a result of that, on the left-hand side, this is what the AC mains look like under a high-frequency scope, i.e. the analyzer. Afterwards, when we installed the sine tamer and the HHF, we got the result like this. It's black, I say it's black and white, it's blue, red and green. It's as clear as day. And here was a timeline. So what we did was we ran the drives up. This is the power for the drives. You can see that the harmonic or the super harmonic noise was getting louder as the power went up. It continued. We switched the HHF on and then off again just to see how did the HHF do. Then we turned it back on. So it got us about halfway. Pretty good result because it was only dealing with one set of the problem. Then we turned on the sine tamer, and the sine tamer then cleared everything down to 0. So the combination of those two was an epic result for the client. And as you can see here, it's tabulated, but basically we got rid of 98% of the noise at 40 kilohertz, but also well over 60 to 90% of all the other frequencies as well. This is another site where they have a phase failure relay. I don't know if you're familiar with this product called Foxtam, but you can see here as well, here is a Dean red surge arrestor. This unit here caught fire due to superharmonics. It was capturing inside a little resistor inside the device. We installed a sine tamer and a HHF, and we cleared up all the signals. The customer was over the moon. Here's to show you, if you have an analyzer, hopefully you can see, it's hard. If your analyzer is not of high spec enough, it's hard to actually know that you've got a problem. I had to zoom right in on my Tektronix scope. I had all three on site to show to the customer, just to see the fuzziness. But with my power quality analyzer, I can see the overlying frequency, and with a click of a button, I know exactly which frequencies are causing the problem. We've just had this case here. We've just actually had a second case of this in Denmark today. One of our partners in Denmark just called me to say they've got a problem with a product called a Rotork valve. And it's a valve that so it's an automated valve that rotates for borehole pumps. And what was happening was whenever the ABB drives were running, the valve and the well depth sensors were going crazy. Like they just couldn't read and they couldn't operate. We installed one sine tamer and all the problems went away. All of them. This problem had been investigated for 9 months. They'd replaced valves, sensors, computers. They couldn't get to the bottom of the problem. Literally in 5 minutes, I wired in a sine tamer and everything was working. Even the fire alarm stopped going off, which was going off randomly while we were there. Again, another pumping station one here, but you can just see, this is for your reference so you can see how clear we make the problem when we put sine tamers in. This one is an application where a customer had a weird problem. I was on site commissioning down the road, and they had another site down the road, and they said, we've got a sensor that's giving us really strange signals, and we don't know why, but it means that we can't follow the flow rate of the river, and then we can't pump and do other things. I said, oh, okay, let's go and have a look. I said, I can't say I promised to solve it, but let's have a look. Anyway, we installed a sine tamer, and you can see here the sine tamer, this one has a counter on it. We had over 1,000 counts in a week recording. Sometimes I've actually been to site and we've had hundreds of thousands of counts, but this is different. This is for a signal issue. So we had 1,000 counts of problems. We installed the sine tamer and then everything started working. Now, if you look here, this is the data from the customer. This is not my data recorded. This is their analog signal into their PLC system. And you can see these spikes on the signals here. This is the point we installed the sine tamer on this date at roughly that time, just after 2 o'clock. Immediately, we started getting a normal response from the signal, from the sensor. So this sine tamer was not put on the sensor signal. This was put on the main supply of the incomer to that panel, and it cleared up everything inside the panel. And then it worked seamlessly. That's been in there well over 3 years, and they've not had a problem since. This is a case study where we had great success with a partner of Rockwell Automation. So this is a Rockwell Automation drive here, a 753 VSD. This is our regen unit in a steel mill. This is Tata Steel. These have been working really fine for a little while, but the MOVs inside this drive started playing up and blowing. So when customers tell you that they already have products that have MOVs in them so they don't need sine tamer, they're wrong. They really are wrong. The drives are built for a price, and they're not built for understanding what they might be connected to. There was 50 of these in total, and I think it got to the point that 7 had failed before the customer finally said, okay, what can we do about it, and called us in. Because we supplied the regen units, and the regen units weren't failing, they said, what's different? I said, well, we've got better protection inside our regen units than the drives. And they said, how? Well, I said, really, in effect, it's got a sine tamer inside. And they said, okay, from a protection point of view. I said, but you've also got some other problems, but we'll put one sine tamer on each panel. The drives were in banks of 10, and from that day, they've not had a single failure of a drive at all. And that's been in over 7 years. So again, just to give you an idea of how powerful the sine tamer is. This is another Tata Steel site, completely different, that we did last year. They have ABB drives and Nidec, which were Control Techniques, for those who know that name. Drives, AC and DC drives, and they were having, last year, they were having a drive fail per month, at least, if not 2, per month, and their repair cost was getting expensive. So the company that was doing the repairs contacted me and said, hey, look, we're looking bad because we're getting a lot of repair business, which is great for our business, but the customer thinks it's something we've done to the site, and we want to fix this problem. We know you deal with power quality issues, can you come and investigate? We investigated, we measured, we saw the spikes, immediately suggested sine tamers. We installed 7 across site, 1 per panel for a bank of drives. They haven't had a problem since. It's been over a year. They haven't had a single failure. We have that as a case study that's in all the press. The customer was willing to write his opinion on what happened and how nice it was that he doesn't have to worry and sleep at night with these problems anymore. So again, I can't stress enough that to have the confidence to convince your customer putting the sign tamper in is going to make sure that their product lasts. Okay, that was a lot of information really fast. I've got a lot more information behind that as well. So should anyone be of interest to know more about power quality mitigation solutions or power quality problems, please liaise with Jim and Tim and see what you want to know. And if I have the information, I'll freely share it with you, because the more we talk about this and the more we share this information, the better it is for everyone. Okay? Over to you, Tim.
All right, thank you so much, John.
Thank you.
That was exactly as expected. I know that 12 hours is not enough for John to share experiences only. So, have you been loaded with some good information so far? All right, somebody may say like, oh man, I'm not too technical, but the information we're giving to you is to let you know, to make you an ambassador to the whole industry that look, there's a solution. There are some people that have cracked that little window that will really help them become more profitable and more sustainable, and above all, have peace of mind. Okay, I mean, it hurts. You have your daughter's graduation and you are the plant manager, maintenance manager, electrical manager. On the day of your daughter's wedding, there's a failure in the plant and they call you, oh, we are down. And then you have to leave your daughter's wedding to go for plant down. That's crazy. We got a solution to keep you at the wedding now. All right? So I want to thank you, all of you. If you have any questions right now for John for the next 1 minute from Enugu, any question? I do know that in Enugu we have a number of people that are running factories, heavy-duty factories in Enugu. And somebody from the government asked a question, how this will benefit. For your information, so much. You can't be talking about municipal wastewater management without power quality. Okay, we have, I'm not sure in Tanzania they are connected. We have a case right now that we are privileged to deal with. They bought something from Dubai and they bought from China, maybe Chint or something like that. In 1 weekend, those two solutions blew up. They thought the one from Dubai would do better. They put that one and that one blew up. So they had to come back to us. Okay? We're like, okay, no problem. We will solve your problem. So for the government, the person in Enugu that asked how this will benefit them, your wastewater management, your drinking water pumps, you need these solutions to really, really be stable. You don't want the water to go off on the whole municipality because equipment has failed. All right? So we can definitely help you. Now, we didn't go down the lane, some other kind of things that we may require. The industry already heard about the drives. You heard about ABB that you respect so much in this country. We respect ABB, we respect Rockwell, all right? But you can see how our solutions help them do better. Somebody will say, I'm from Siemens. We got Siemens right here, we got Schneider right here. Don't be afraid. When you are trying to do a project and Schneider is coming in, also try to ask some questions, Don't be afraid to incorporate us to make them better. And Schneider, don't be afraid to let them know that you don't do everything. John did not say we handle 100%. Nobody can solve it 100%. Okay? This is man-made. Okay? Unless God made, then we can say 100%. But if it's man-made, you got to allow it slack. Okay? Now, for the telecoms people, you heard it from the beginning. For people like the Jubilees, the generator companies, solution is on the table right now. For the Lamberts of this world, building refineries, and the other companies building the high-rise buildings, the big elevator companies, the cranes, the solution is right in this box, power quality. And that's why we had to come down to spread the news, and we called you in, and we respect so much that you spent your time today with us. Our time is a little bit fast spent. If anybody has a question in Enugu, please indicate in the chat. Any question? Any question from Enugu? No. If you have a question, we see a few minutes before we let John be on the sideline, and then we shut down. Last thing they're going to talk in just 2 minutes is the support system that we have. Now, Coca-Cola told me some years ago, we watched you for 3 years before we could do business with you. American Towers in Tanzania were like,
Hello.
yes,
Hello, can you?
yes.
So the organizers, I thank you for what you have done so far, and I want to thank Jim Rose and John Michel for the presentation so far. I equally thank the organizer here in Enugu, Engineer Maka, for making it possible for us to be here today.
Can the camera in Enugu show your face?
Yes, the camera is here. My face is on.
Enugu, Enugu, is it possible to see who is speaking? Enugu Media.
Can you see me now? Can I continue?
Continue. Media, please try to catch his face so we can see who is speaking.
I think it's very clear here.
Good, we can see you.
So you can see my face right now. So I said I thank the organizer here in Enugu, Engineer Maka, for all his high efforts in coming to the ministry to talk to us about this very program. I equally saw people are partnering with the Amazons and the Boeing, especially the Boeing that most of us have been using worldwide. I just want to let you know that what you're saying is highly technical. When you talk about, when Jim Rose was talking and when John Michel were speaking, they were trying to show us so many physics behind what you are producing. We appreciate that, but we would like you to always try to cascade what you're saying, because when you are talking, some of us are tuned backwards, some of us are taken aback. We really need to understand what you're talking about. We know that in summary, you are talking about this power surge, and the way she has explained that, all of us became so interested in your own project. So we would like your presence here in Enugu, because we need such equipment in Enugu State, most especially as we are transiting from non-renewable to renewable energy. So it's very welcome. So I would like everything that you are doing to be cascaded. Let there be training of the trainers, so that when you come down here, people will be here to talk to us on a personal note. In other words, we are still going to bring everything together, bring them together based on what you are saying now, and you will see the resultant effect from our side. Now, in the physics aspect of it, it's all about you plugging something. It's all about you attaching a kind of equipment to your homes. I can see from what Jim Rose presented that there are so many aspects. It cuts across every aspect. Issue of water, health, and environment. So we know that what you are saying here is very important and so paramount. I would like you to just join us in what we are trying to achieve in Enugu State. We are moving from non-renewable to renewable. Everything we are trying to move on smart energy. When you come to the school, when you come to the roads, when you come to all the sectors of this very state. If you only go to health department, some of you that are in Abuja, you find that we have already started doing, health has already started their own health national adaptation plan. And all these things are keyed into the SDGs 7, 8, 9, and 13. So we want to key in, but we want it to be cascaded in a way that most of us will understand what you're saying, so that as we go back to our ministries, we can tell our principals what we have just learned from this very place, so that we can join you and then move together in alignment with your own framework. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Before you leave the microphone, can you just reintroduce yourself again? Before you drop the microphone, can you just reintroduce, we didn't catch his name. Enugu, can you hear me? Can he reintroduce?
Yes, I can hear me right now. My name is Arum Namdi, the Deputy Director, Climate Change Department, Enugu State Ministry of Environment and Climate Change. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you. Thank you for that comment. Any other comment from Enugu?
Yes.
Go ahead.
My name is Engineer George Mume. I'm the MD of Medas Engineering Limited. From the talk and the presentation, most of the surges come from the generating and the transmission stations. And finally to the distribution transformers. I would like to know from the presentation what technology they have to mitigate the surges from the source. So that will help reduce the nuisance we have from the end users. Thank you.
Thank you, Engineer George. John has been talking about the sign tamer, and Jim talked about it very well. You just have about 20% most destructive surges coming from the utility lines, of course, and from lightning, which of course will ride the utility lines. You have 80% of that generated internally within the factory or within the building due to those the switching transients. So the sign tamer will be able to help you when it comes to transients right from the service entrance. Okay? With that, that's your first point of check. You're going to have a rest of peace of mind. And then for any load that is critical, we can go downstream to deploy the right size of sign tamer unit or any of the solutions that are required, as John showed us. If it's a harmonic issue, if it is just transient issue, if it's super harmonic, we have all the fleet of solutions that would help us to resolve that. But primarily, you mentioned surge. The sign tamer is the one that will help you do that. Angie, I know you're in Enugu. Can you show him the box, the sign tamer box? I know that's the dummy type of it. Press the button that shows green and show engineer so that he will have a feel of what it looks like in the real life. Yeah, that box that has sign tamer. Let him see what it, good. All right, that's a 3-phase unit. That should be RMST40, 3-phase unit. Only that one can handle 400 amps capacity, panel or load. Okay, now it goes all the way 3,000 amps and you can go way, way beyond that. We can make 10,000 amps unit in one box for you and the result is absolutely the same. So what you're holding in your hand is a dummy, but that's how the real one looks like. The real one looks like that. And sometimes it does come with surge counters that will be able to give counts of the surges that it clears. Okay, so we will work with you in Enugu. I'm so impressed, so happy, and Amaka has done a great job in Enugu. Thank you so much. Any question for John before we move to the last 1 minute to give the support people a minute to say something about how we support our warranty and other stuff? Any other comment from the Lagos? Okay, Benson, you're in Abuja. Are you still there?
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen.
Good afternoon.
My
I'm
name
in
is
Abuja. Team.
Okay, Benson, stay on. Benson, hold on, Benson. Let's hear Enugu. Just stay close.
Okay.
Go ahead, sir. Enugu, go ahead.
My question is about this equipment.
Yes.
I want to ask, is this equipment, are they cost effective? Because from the look of things, it looks very sophisticated. Is it cost effective in the sense, can homes afford it if we started having it in Enugu State?
Very good question. Cost effective, the answer should be yes. However, the cost is dependent on how much the need is to you. If you have a machine, like I see some people, they invest in $1 million machine, or they buy 5K mega screen TV for their beautiful home theater, and it's about $6,000. And then they ask you to protect that. You say you want to protect it with a $100 surge protection device. Congratulations, we point you to China. If your 5K TV is very important to you, you want to make sure you protect that. And remember, only one strike can take out everything in your house. Your TV, your dishwasher, your laundry machines, everything can go, plus the house can go on fire. So it's very cost effective, but it also depends on what it means to you. What does your investment mean to you? How much do you really want your investment to last for you? That will determine how much you will want to spend on that. You want to go for surgery? Do you want a doctor that will check the brain, repair something, or do you want a doctor that will amputate your hand? The choice will be yours. You would rather want to go for a brain, scan, and they just repair something in the brain. Your hand will start working, as against the doctor that will say, well, the only solution, we cut the hand and we'll put a prostrate arm for you. You see, the two of them are solving problems, but there are different ways of solving the problems. So bottom line is they're cost effective, and we're willing to work with you as customers, as channels, as ambassadors of the products, okay, to make sure that we solve the problems that we have in our society and have peace of mind at the end of the day. We want to create something that, a legacy that our children will still see those companies running and they at least get experience from there before they start out their own. All right. If that question is answered, any other one from Enugu before we take up? Unless, John, you want to add something to that answer? I don't know if you have a different version of cost effectiveness from your customer experience when a customer is asking if it is cost effective.
Yeah, that's a really tricky one. I think you expressed it really well, Tim. What I would say is it comes down to return on investment, right? So I think we have a world record somewhere. Jeff can probably confirm this, but I know in Europe we did a case for a customer, and the payback for the customer was less than like 1 minute, right? But on the other extreme, when you're talking about households, that's a different problem altogether, right? Industry, it's very easy to quantify payback. A household, someone has to put a value, personal value, I would say, on what are the risks. So kind of two different things really, and you have to weigh on your heart, or your customer might have to weigh on the heart if you're talking about residential applications, that you just need to think a little bit stronger and harder on what does it mean to you personally to be protected, right?
Yes.
So yeah, nothing more to add on that really on that side. But in the factories, yes, definitely the cost of downtime and the profit to the shareholders and cost of not being able to produce stuff while you've got ingredients coming in or whatever your system is that it's producing is a real problem. So it's minutes of payback,
Excellent. Well, thank you so much, Enugu, for that question. Any question from the hall here in Lagos? All right, Benson in Abuja, are you there? Just 1 second before we get Hiral to talk about the support in just 3 minutes, and then we shut it down. Are you Benson?
Yeah. Yes, I'm here, Tim.
All right, I called up your experience before. You talked about the 80 kilowatt site that was built, but it can't power up. Can you share just half a second about that particular situation and our confidence in resolving that in Abuja?
Yeah, nice one, nice sessions, very great and intelligent system. Basically, like somebody said, there's a lot of transition. So you see a lot of transition into renewable systems. But a lot of times when you need the power from the grid to also help in like an hybrid system, help in sustaining your battery powers and stuff like that. You see, those powers are not clean, like the situation we have. Getting clear three-phase system from grid in Nigeria here, I think is absolutely impossible most times. I called on a team, and he's preferred some very great solutions from the bouquet of what we've had today. I think there's so much confidence when we work on power systems now, knowing that solutions like this exist here. So I also want to play that the record for these sessions are shared, so we can also share with people who were supposed to be here and they didn't make it because of business commitments and other stuff. So that's my plea. Wonderful thing. We're here to work with you in Abuja. I think I also I also find Green Capital. Are you here? It's one of our big players in the renewable energy sector in Abuja. Green Capital. Chinedu Bezimako, are you still online?
I think I saw that name online.
Are you still here?
Yeah.
I think he went out. So he's one of our big players as well in renewable. In fact, he has his own patent products that he delivers. I was able to drag him in here.
That was
He's
great.
been here for a while. So we in Abuja are ready to work. I mean.
Okay, yes, Engineer Benson, I'm here. Sorry, I couldn't unmute. I think it was the host.
Yeah.
Okay, I think Mr. Ibezim is
Great. Okay,
yeah,
great.
Engineer Ibezim is there.
Yeah. So I guess he's there as well.
Yes.
I think these are great products that we can work with and profile good quality solutions.
Excellent.
So you can drop a word, Chinedu. Thank you.
Hello?
Yes, Chinedu, you can also talk. Yeah.
Yeah, I think my network for some reason is
No,
not
we
stable.
can hear you very well.
We can hear you. We can hear you.
Okay, are you asking me something?
Yeah, what is so
No, I
far,
said your
what is it?
experience.
And your confidence that your problems are going to be solved right now, that you now know we got a bouquet of solutions for you in power quality. How confident are you to face the challenges? That's what's good.
Okay, so experience you're asking, sorry, let me get that from Mr. Benson. Experience you're asking, is it regarding challenges?
Challenges.
The solutions you saw today here.
Hello, come again.
I said the solutions that were projected here today.
Okay, experience in terms of our solar solutions we are providing.
No, experience in terms of solving some of the problems that we encounter, three-phase challenges. I mean, when we want to use the grid, hybrid system for solar solution.
Okay,
that having products like this will help us in solving problems like harmonics, problems with grid reversal and stuff
Yes.
like that.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, we are coming from the area of a very classical technology. Before now, we used to deploy, for example, if we have to deploy a 50 kVA system before now, we used to deploy the systems from Megatech, this Indian system, three-phase, high voltage, IDC voltage, and all of that. So, like in Nigeria, one of the major problems we have is that for some of the sites, when you deploy, either you have one of the phases not working for some reason, one of the phases yanked off, and then once the phase is not complete, the system will not be able to power. So we had that problem, but right now with this new technology we are having you're having DAE, you're having TBB, and some of those folks, they are bringing in systems that you can run on single phase, but I think the major issue we're having right now, if I can say for a fact, is protection devices. Which is where I got more interested, protection devices, because protection devices as protection systems, most of the buildings, you won't even believe, some of the buildings that you see a lot, what they do there, their protection system is nothing to write home about, The builders here, they don't really focus on, they don't infuse professionalism when it comes to the electrical part of what they are doing. And I mean, imagine you come and you want to deploy a system and the thunder arrestor is not potent enough. You do edge resistance test, it's very poor. So we have had that challenges. We're using SPDs. Sometimes the SPDs are not good enough. So
at least now you've seen the SPD that is the number one. So
yes,
good. So you're more confident now that
I have my head of technical here because I have not been very focused, but I know that I told him to pay more attention because from what I have seen, I think that what I have seen solves a whole lot of problems for us, and not just for us, because we have a pool of folks that does what we do. We are one of the old ants, so we have a pool of folks that we're going to also introduce this too. We have a very good channel to, commercialize it also. So I think it's good. We'd like to see where we can go. Well, would be very much interested in having this device and then see where we can go from there.
All right. Thank you very much. Thank you, Engineer Ibezimako and Engineer Benson. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, John. Now, just for last minutes, let me see Hiral. Hiral from India, TSI Power India for support. I don't know whether you're still there. That's Noam here, admin. Okay, this admin should be Hiral. Can you unmute admin, please? Unmute admin. Hiral will just talk 1 minute, the idea to support for the TSI Power, to give us the support that we need round the clock. We got Francis in Singapore. I guess he must have gone to bed maybe. So there must be support, within the time zones. At any time, somebody is hopping on board to support you. Even though these solutions don't even need your maintenance, to be honest with you. That's why Santama is 25 years warranty, yes, and the other ones run many years. John just showed us the one that been running for 7 years in the UK. In Denmark, 3 years, no call for maintenance. But Hiral is right here. Hi, Hiral.
Hi team, how are you?
Good.
Hi everyone.
Good. So just to give them the confidence that look, we have TSI India very close to support, okay? To offer the much support that we can, and of course from the US we might be a little bit far away, but we cascade things down through the India, and they will have all the support that they require to keep things moving at any point in time.
True. That's good.
Good.
Hi everyone, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Am I audible? Great. So hi, I'm Hiru Gandhi everyone, representing TSI India. I'm looking after export sales, and basically we serve African and all Asian countries from India.
Cool.
Yes.
Excellent. So most of you will be, that means in the course of time as we progress, they're going to be interfacing, especially the team will be interfacing with you for all the support we need as far as export sales is concerned. All right. That's the confidence we want to be able to show them in Tanzania, across the world, across Africa, those who are connected in Kenya, everywhere, that we have the support system. Because American Towers in Tanzania gave me a challenge, and they were like, oh, we are so big on support. I'm like, we got the support you need 24 hours a day.
Right.
From everywhere.
That's true.
We got it. If we need to get, I know it's tough to get John to be in the plane because John is fully booked for the next two years possibly. Even Mr. President Jeff Edwards can jump in the plane and solve the problem, because we enjoy what we do as engineers. We enjoy solving problems, and we want to make sure you have all the support you need. So have confidence in us, have confidence in our solutions. That look, you're not just dealing with one person, you're dealing with a network of people who love to solve problems and they're happy about it, right? Great. So thank you very much. I want to call up Enugu quickly for the vote of thanks from Enugu. Let's get Engineer Amaka. Let's get Enugu for a quick vote of thanks. I want to thank her. She worked so hard. This was a short notice, very short notice, and she pulled it off in Enugu. Is she there, Enugu? I think that's Enugu. Camera, make sure we are seeing who is talking, please. Enugu Media, please. Okay, good. We can see her. Can you pin her? All right, go ahead and thank your people, Angie. Good.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
So, first of all, I want to thank Mr. Timothy for making me part of his team today. And I want to thank everybody here that have come here today to be part of this program. So I appreciate you all being here today despite all your busy schedules. Thank you for joining this program. I appreciate you all. Thank you.
Excellent. Well done for the job. Well done. You've made everybody proud. Thank you for assembling people from the government. I was really impressed. People from the government, people. managing directors on a short notice. And God just granted you so much favor. And we'll work together. We'll see the plans we can have together with a team on ground to do a visit in Enugu. And like the director said, we're going to work with him and his team to, as a transition, you know, like he mentioned, we'll provide you the support you need as much as it falls into what we can deliver to you. Thank you so much. Now from Lagos, let's take one participant experience or two, and then we will shut down. And you don't want to know the history of this wonderful man that is with me here. And thank you, Pastor, for being so patient. He's a big example to me. In this room, you have procurement directors for your information. And sometimes it's not only the technical people that you want to bring. Okay? That's why you don't look at people because they're not wearing tie. You'll be joking. I met a young man in Tanzania. He was just wearing T-shirts. He was the one signing the stuff. You just neglect him, you are finished. So, sir, experience.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. And thank you for coming and participating in this particular program. Thank you for inviting me, Engineer Team. My experience has been exciting and impressive. I mean, we have such products available to use in the country. It will really help the power system and the power industry. So it's a very good product. One thing I will ask the company to do is also to bring up industrial or vertical use cases and simplify it, maybe in an animated way, so that people can easily understand. Because from what I can see, it's almost like a plug and play. Once you discover the problem, you can do it yourself if possible. So this can also help in having a mileage across the markets commercially. Talking about commercial too as well, I really don't know how pocket friendly the product is, even though I've heard that it's a bit expensive. But looking at the country and the economy, we need to make it very pocket friendly and easy to get. We don't want even the Chinese guys to come in and start cloning it as well, making it, you know. But I see that it's a very efficient product and solves almost every power-related challenge that might be available, especially for us in Nigeria here. Our power is always very fluctuating, intermittent, both of you. So thank you for this expose, but we'd like to take it further so that people can embrace it more. And I really want to thank your company for pulling this and enlightening everyone around. Thank you so much. Thank you.
At least Lagos, put your hands together for him. I know that I want to take one customer experience from this Alhaji. Alhaji, your experience.
Good day, everyone. This is a long-awaiting solution to me. We've been coming from the telecom industry to the power transmission industry. We are ready to face. I can assure you we're going to partner with you. We've introduced this to some of the discos. We are discussing with them. The teleco industry, I saw Pan-African Tower, they are big players. I'm very happy they are here. We are working with them already, and we are going to continue to work with them. They are one of the big players in Colo in Nigeria. Give it to them. They are the upcoming giants. They are there already, overtaking a lot of the existing ones. And I'm happy I can see them here. MTN is a home call for you. Why we also handle the Eco Electric and in installing their transformers. What we need to do, that I promise you, you and I will have to work together, is to get this product registered with NEMSA. We have to work towards that. Once it's registered with NEMSA, so it becomes an official product. Whenever they are recommending their surge, whenever they power problem is common in Nigeria. Take it. But what I can tell you is we are not resting. And we've been together with Tim for over a decade. I know what he can do. So when he calls me, I didn't question it. I just tell him, look, I'm on board. I know him very well, and one of our bosses is also here, Dr. Agbana. So thank you very much, Tim, for getting us on board on this. And let's go, what do we say? Let's get on board. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you so much. Thank you very much. Just for your information, before we just round up, in this room, all this thing we're doing was inspired by just a little spark. The man that made me know that, boy, you can actually make money. You can give service. It's possible to do PP, you know, that kind of a thing. It's possible to think, wow. He called me, he didn't ask my bank account. I want this done in 24 hours. How much is it? This is it. Boom. Young boy holding cash. I said, what is this? And that gave a spark. Like, JOB is a good thing, but you know what? It's good to get to the point where I could serve like this. That was how the inspiration started coming. And I want to thank Mr. Emeka, my boss. Thank you so much, sir. Just say hello to the people before we close, if you can. You know.
Good evening, everybody. It's been a pleasure to be here with you, and we've learned so much. I'm really proud of this new innovation and technology Tim is bringing to us. I've known Tim for some time right now, for some years, and he's been, one thing I know about him, he has integrity and he works very hard. So congratulations and thank you very much.
All right. Let me just say thank you to everybody that has just attended. Thank you for the media team. Thank you, Pan-African. We'll see briefly. And of course, some people in NTN are watching. Some of them are watching on YouTube. Tanzania, I want to thank you. Kenya, Cosmos, thank you so much for all the effort. And Jim, thank you so much for flying in from South Africa just for this. You know what it means? I was like, man, this half of Jim, man, is making the man that is times 2 of him to fly from South Africa just for a day into Nigeria. And I'm glad you've enjoyed Nigerian food. He likes our food, and it's a good experience. We're going to do more, and we're going to be in more places. And I want to thank Nampeg from TSI Power in the USA. We launched Barbados last October, and next will be Trinidad in the Caribbean. And like that, we're going to take the gospel of this beautiful power quality to different parts of the world, and create opportunities for people and solve problems as we go. Thank you, Enugu team, amazing. And Andrew in Tanzania, thank you so much. Oh my goodness, let me not forget to thank Alphonse. Alphonse, well done. Well done for the push. And I want to thank the Ministry of Health, TCAA, thank you so much. NMB Tanzania, I appreciate you guys. I see all of you. We'll hope to see you very soon, face to face. I know it's been a while. I will see you soon. And John, I want to appreciate you personally, and I do hope we have more opportunity to do this thing on a larger scale. It's a conference. We're going to start planning for next year on a big scale right after this minute, so that we can take this message out. So it becomes a big, big event in Nigeria that will attract the cream de la cream of the industry. Nigerian Society of Engineers are aware of this. They were supposed to be here. I'm not sure they came in, but I'm sure they are watching. We're going to reach out also to Association of Electrical Consultants of Nigeria. Assets Tanzania, I think some of them are also connected. Association of Consultant Electrical Engineers of Tanzania, they're also connected. So like that, we reach out to people and make them aware that solution is available. Oh, okay. Okay, before we close, can we just put Osita on the line? I think he's a research. He's Dr. Osita, I think so. Dr. Osita, all right. Yeah, he's a power quality PhD. PhD. That's good. Can you find Dr. Osita? Unmute him, please, quickly, before we just quickly round up. 1 second. Our time is fast spent. Dr. Osita?
Okay. Yeah. Thank you, everyone, for this wonderful opportunity for us to hear more about power quality and then the solution you have for us. Honestly, I've been researching, working, gathering power quality data for since 2010 or 2009 or thereabouts. That's about 15 years ago. And I've seen so many issues, so many power quality issues in the industry. And it had been in my heart, to see this kind of scenario where solutions can be profiled for, power quality issues, because these are things we don't know much about in Nigeria. Most places you visited to capture power quality issues. Of course, I've traveled throughout the whole country from one power installation to the other, trying to capture data. And they don't know all these things, and this is causing serious problems. So it has been in my heart to, see this kind of company that can come up with, solutions to power quality problems. It's actually it's a very big problem. In fact, one of the things I advise you to do is to create more awareness, because people don't know it. When somebody is sick and doesn't know that he's sick, it's very difficult to cure that person. But when that person realizes that he's sick, then the person will take steps to get the problem solved. So I'm highly excited to although I came in late because I'm engaged in another thing. But when I came in, I saw some of the solutions to profile and all that, and I'm excited. So I don't know what you have anywhere in Lagos here. I would like to know more about you. And you can see how I can link you up to some customers that have this issue. Many of them, done power quality capture, data capturing, analysis, and all that. They need this kind of solution. So I think it's a very good thing. It's a wonderful thing. So thank you so much for this opportunity.
You're welcome, Doctor. Thank you so much for confirming that. And then finally, let me thank Mike. Mike B, thank you so much, Mike. Now, Mike is also on ground with a signed term and message, for some years now, helping out. So we have the workforce to start right away on ground. Alaji is here, Transcorp, okay, on ground. Right there in Enugu, Jabion is there, Amaka is there for you to reach out to. But this information that we have today, if your email is on the table, we'll be able to share this link with you. So at your free time, you can watch, and we can attach the presentations that you saw today. So at your free time, you can go back and consult with those information to, get it really, really deep down. Thank you, and I appreciate you, and I want to thank God for the grace and the great privilege to be here, to fly down just for this. It's a privilege, to be honest with you. Jim, I want to thank you again. I want to thank Jeff for allowing you to come down, and thank my wife and my little baby boy for letting me go, just like that, and leave them behind for a few days. Thank you so much for being here with us all through today. God bless you as you go back, and keep you until the next year's Power Quality Conference is going to be bigger and better, and trust me, it's definitely going to be bigger and better. All right. Thank you for coming.
Fox cameraman moved out of the way and into safe positions, and some shots of these lightning bolts were scary stuff. And that happened right near the 18th green again. Our locked cameras caught that bolt. And let me just tell you, it wasn't too far from our booth. That is a live look at the tree